There are many different opinions in the debate of wet food versus dry food for cats. So, how to go about the type of food you choose to provide your feline friend with? We're looking into wet food versus dry food. Let's start off by discussing both the pros and the cons of dry food. Quite often, you hear people arguing that dry food is not that healthy for cats. But that highly depends on the type of food you're feeding them. Some great dry foods are low in carbohydrates and sugar, but packed with the necessary nutrients your cat needs to thrive. For example, a high-protein diet can help support muscle growth in cats, as well as build strong bones and maintain normal body temperature. Also, with the high protein intake, their bodies can quickly break it down into amino acids and absorb them as needed. This means they'll have more energy throughout the day and you won't have to worry about filling up their bowl that often. However, this also means that they may gain weight more easily, so be sure to keep an eye on how much they're eating. There is also dry food which is not as nutritious and can cause health issues for your cat. Here it is important to critically assess which type of food to go for. Do your research and make sure the dry food you choose is nutritionally balanced to meet the specific needs of your pet. If you want us to make a video about which brands we would recommend, just let us know in the comments down below. And hey, why not hit the subscribe button while you're there so you'll never miss another video. Okay, let's get back into it. Another advantage of dry food is that it is relatively cheap. This is great if your budget is limited or if you just want to save some money on your furry friend's food bill. Because buying in bulk usually means you'll pay less per can than if you were to buy it in smaller amounts. This is especially true when you buy in bulk online, where you get extra discounts on your order. A tip from experienced food buyers: cats can be picky eaters. So before buying a large supply of a particular brand of cat food, buy a smaller amount first to test it out and see if your cat likes it. Another benefit of dry food is that it does not spoil easily. Once you open the can, you can keep it stored away in your pantry until it's time to feed it to your cat. It won't go bad or stale, so you don't have to worry about tossing out a whole batch of food because it went bad. It can also come in handy when you're traveling with your cat and don't have access to a refrigerator to store food. The last advantage of dry food is that it is beneficial to the health of your cat's teeth. This is because dry food is firm and crunchy, which makes your cat have to chew it for quite some time, especially compared to wet food. Also, the harder the food is, the fewer bacteria it has, and the healthier your cat will be. There are, however, some disadvantages to dry food as well. The main disadvantage you should keep in mind is that dry food contains more calories compared to wet food, meaning it can lead to weight gain in your cat. This is an issue especially if your pet already has weight and you want to keep it as healthy as possible. Cat obesity is seen very often nowadays due to pet parents feeding their kitties dry food constantly throughout the day. But by only feeding them once or twice a day, you can help prevent this. Okay, now let's move on to wet food. One of the main advantages of wet food is that it contains much more water than dry food. Dry food contains up to 15% of water at most, whereas wet food contains up to 85% of water. Why is that important? Well, studies have shown that water is very good at preventing dehydration in animals. Yeah, makes sense. But especially cats can sometimes be picky water drinkers, as they do not always like water that much. So, do not underestimate the importance of water. You can compare it to how important it is for humans. It helps for digesting food, it is beneficial for the function of our organs, and there are many more advantages to drinking enough water. Same as for not drinking enough water. It can lead to serious health issues and even death. A tip: make sure you have a water bowl with running water, a little cat drinking fountain for example. Your cat will love it for sure and will drink more water overall. Another advantage of eating wet food is that it has fewer calories than dry food has. The main reason is, again, that it consists of a lot of water. If your cat struggles to maintain a steady weight, it might be a reason to go for the wet food. Also consider that it is easier to digest food when it's more watery, meaning that it also prevents constipation, which is another potential problem that can cause health problems for your beloved cat. A con of wet food is that it is much more expensive. There are two main reasons for this. Firstly, the process of making wet food is much more complicated than the process of making dry food. The second reason is that there are a lot of different materials used in cat foods these days, which makes it even more expensive. However, if you are willing to sacrifice some money here and there in order to prevent your cat from developing obesity, then it is definitely worth it in the long run. After all, spending a little extra can potentially save you thousands in the future by preventing serious health problems such as diabetes or kidney problems. Besides being expensive, another con of wet food is that it cannot be stored for a long period of time, as it tends to spoil easily when exposed to air or light. This means that you will have to discard the leftovers within a couple of hours after opening the packaging. Therefore, it is very important to read the instructions carefully before feeding your cat so that the leftovers do not go to waste. Alright, let's end this video with a fact or fiction check. Let's see if you can spot the truth in these points. First off, raw meat is at least as healthy as canned food. And what do you think? Well, that one is fiction. Raw meat is too one-sided for the cat. The balance of nutrients is not right. Originally, cats do eat prey, such as mice, worms, and birds, but they eat them as a whole, including their skin and hair. All parts of that prey together contain all the essential nutrients. Next one. Milk is a treat for your purring friend. So, this one's also fiction. Although many people occasionally provide their cats with milk, it is not the smartest thing to do. You can see it very often. A cat drinking milk, or you hear people say, well, maybe you should treat your cat with some milk. Well, milk is alright for your human friends, but the cat's stomach is not able to tolerate lactose and its digestion is severely affected by milk. Adult cats can no longer digest the milk sugars, lactose, resulting in diarrhea. There is, however, special cat milk with less or without lactose. Water remains best for the adult cat though. Speaking of water, let's talk about our third and final statement. A cat naturally does not need to drink that much. And indeed, that is a fact. Cats normally do not need to drink more than 40 to 60 milliliters per kilo per day. Note that this amount can vary depending on their lifestyles and environmental conditions. Just make sure there is a frequent access to water. This is especially important for outdoor cats who are exposed to various elements and may need to take frequent bathroom breaks as well. Getting enough fluids is important for preventing bladder problems. But cats don't drink a lot by nature. They normally get enough moisture through their prey. Wet food corresponds to prey in terms of moisture content. As discussed before, they do need to drink from time to time, just not that much is needed to stay healthy. Well, that's it for this video. We hope this helps you in your decision between buying wet food or dry food. Or both. Got a question or a topic for a future video? Please leave us a comment and we will make sure to respond. Oh, and also please subscribe. For now, thank you very much for watching and we'll see you in the next one.